What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Live at the Roxy. I'm pretty sure that is the first time in maybe 5 weeks in which I started this show, and it's just a clean entrance of me talking and nobody else. That's right, because he is a complete pro. Andrew Ghai in the house with us today.
What's up, Rox? I'll be honest. I really wanted to talk. I don't know
I
what it is.
know.
Even though you're like, I'm going live. I'm pushing live now, and I was like, I wanted to be like, okay, but I didn't do it.
It's a thing. It's just like, I don't know. People during quarantine, I feel like even the people who do this all of the time, every law is out the window. Every
Yeah,
rule, everything I know, every sentence that I ever heard or every word that made me sound smart, I don't know any of them anymore. Like everything's gone. It's just all left the brain.
yeah. I've been trying to educate myself as much as I can on this, but at the same time, the more that I educate myself, or like try to act like a functioning human being, the more that I realize I'm just failing at it. So I've just completely given up. I'm cool with it. I've like leaned into gaming. I've leaned into gaming and walking my dog, and I'm
Wait,
just
so what are
totally cool
you
with doing that.
what gaming stuff are you doing? Also, I want to lean into gaming, but I'm horrible, so help me, help
So
me.
I do Clash Royale is like my
Yes, of
thing
course.
for work, but there's
That's like your
obviously
legit livelihood. I mean, that's your
yeah,
job, but you
yeah,
also
that
like it.
I do. I love it. I really love it, but I've been playing it like obsessively for 3-ish years now. So there's a new game out from the creators of League of Legends, Riot. It's like a first-person shooter, so it makes me feel like a kid again because I used to love to play Counter-Strike. So I've been playing this game called Valorant. That's all I've been doing. I've been playing that, and I've been like
Wait,
editing
can I ask you
videos.
a question? Because
Yeah,
people say this all the time, and it's something I should just Google, but we all know that I have no ability to do that anymore. I just ask it. First person shooter, that's like literally it's me, it like James Bond, right? Like me and I'm a
yeah.
shooter.
Like you see the front of the gun
Yeah,
is like
yeah, with the
that's the
little
shot.
circle thing.
Yeah, yeah. Whereas like third person shooters, it's like you're looking at the person who's shooting. But yeah, I
Oh,
don't know.
okay.
I think because the first couple weeks I was going like it was really rough. I was having a hard time eating even remotely healthy. I was really struggling with exercising and stuff, and so I needed to find like something to kind of distract me or at least like take my attention. So here we are.
What are you doing exercise wise?
I run with Snickers. So I run with Snick every morning on the beach, and then I come back and I do like lunges and push-ups and stuff like that. And I have a pull-up bar. It started to kind of help me feel a little bit sane again, but I don't know. I don't know. I think it's more so just like missing the routine of going to the gym and like lifting weights because clearly I'm still getting a
Bro.
good workout. Yeah, I know. I feel like such a bro. Um, because I'm still sweating and I'm still getting a good workout, but I still feel like I don't know, cooped up.
No, I completely understand because if I'm having a really hard time, I'm probably where you were a couple of weeks ago, where I can't do it.
Yeah.
And that seems like a ridiculous thing to say. Of course, I can do it, but for some reason, I'm not doing it. And I'm somebody who works out like 3 times a week for the last 5 years of my life. So I'm pretty consistent with that. That's like my regular schedule. And now I bought this. It's right there. Maybe I'll show it to you in a minute. I bought this. It's a floor elliptical, so it has no things. It's just like slides on the floor.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It cost me like $160. I was like, the chances that this works, I'm not sure, but if it does, I'm gonna be so happy. Spoiler alert, it doesn't.
What?
So I mean, it works, Drew, but it doesn't work. Like
Okay.
you have to give it everything you've got. I mean,
Yeah.
everything, because there's no hydraulics. There's no, like, you're moving on your
You
own.
you are the machine.
I'm the machine. So it would literally be like deciding to run in place for 40 minutes. Like
Ugh.
you would just have to. So I can only do it for about 5 minutes before I'm like, fuck this. I don't fucking care. If I get fat, I get fat. Leave me alone.
Yes, because you are honestly one of the hardest working people I've ever met. You're
Thank
always like
you.
running around. No, I mean it. I mean, like, even when I was talking about Clash lining up with when I used to be working in a restaurant, I like was talking to you and Ben one day, and you were like, I said something, and you're like, yeah, but then you'll be working 7 days a week, which is everyone does that. And I was like,
I probably said it in some douchey ass way.
well, you made me feel kind of like an ass for not wanting to work 7 days a week. And then I was like, well, of course.
Well,
Like
you
that's
shouldn't feel
what
like
we
an ass
well,
for that.
no. but it was more so me complaining about having to work more than 4 at 2 separate jobs. And it was like literally you busting your ass 7 days a week, being like, dude, come on, you're like so lucky to have this opportunity. Cause like, you know how it is in other stretches of entertainment where you have nothing to do for like months at a time. So like, just because I'm busy for 3 months, I was like, woe is me. And you kind of checked me for it, which was, I actually appreciate you for doing that. And it's actually a moment that's stuck in my mind. But the whole point of this story is, how are you doing like not being able to be a busybody, or like being a busybody only at home? Because that's another thing that I realized. I'm like, I actually just miss going and doing shit. Like I used to hate traffic, but I kind of miss driving out to North Hollywood.
Yeah, I know what you mean with that. It's so funny because we all complain about it every single site, the traffic. But now it's like I would sit in my car for an hour to get to NoHo for sure, and I would be stoked to do it. I want to listen to my podcast on the way. I want to hang out. Like, I think I'm doing fine with it. I think that some days I'm doing awful with it. Every day has presented a new issue to me in quarantine. Every single day. Number one, I'm quarantined by myself. So that's a thing where it's like I spend so much time just by myself, me, myself, and I. And luckily I like myself, but not that much. And so it's like been definitely a thing. But I really am busy because I do this every day. One of the reasons I do this every day is to make sure that I do this every day. Like I'm doing something. I've been writing for a lot of websites, doing editorial stuff. So that takes me a really long time because I'm slow as shit. I'm a very slow writer. I wish I was quicker, but I'm not. And so I think that it sucks not being able to go somewhere every day and not leaving and just being here alone and trying to work. But at the same time, I think about all the worst situations and I'm so lucky. You're so lucky. We're healthy. And I know that that's cliche to say, but I read these stories on the news every day that make me start bawling my eyes out.
Same.
People who are losing their siblings and their parents in the same day, and they can't even be in the hospital with them to say goodbye. They're saying goodbye on the phone. It's like FaceTime
goodbyes. And oh God, I know. I had to stop reading some of the sad stuff in the mornings because I'll just like, I wake up and I start crying. And then I like read some of the other stuff that makes me mad. And then I'm just like laying in bed and I've already cried and gotten angry within like 30 minutes of being awake. And I'm like, what have I done to myself? Why have you done this to yourself again?
Yeah. And it's impossible to be productive. I mean, there's actual studies about not watching the news in the morning because your productivity goes down significantly because I can compartmentalize some things, but not that. Yeah. I can't. And today, oh my fucking God, Drew, I woke up today and I think it was Mike Kalinowski who posted that picture. I think you might have seen this too on Facebook. The Kaepernick one? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So
and then
all of the people protesting, and them saying, I need my haircut. And I'm just like, what planet do we live on? What planet do we live on?
And one thing that was so crazy about, these businesses that are going to be reopening, and I was looking at it because there was like a website, I don't remember which city or state it was that they were talking about these businesses reopening, but I looked at the businesses and I was like, these are literally all service industry jobs, essentially, that are making people go back to work so they can service people that need these services done, like getting their haircut, getting their nails done, getting their tans, getting their, tattoos, getting their burgers made. Like, it's crazy. When I looked at all the businesses reopening, I was like, these people are getting forced into going back to work so that a lot of us can have luxuries, not necessities. And that's like what a lot of the protesting is about luxuries, not necessities. I don't want to get political because I know that's not what we do, but
it's just I do it all the fucking time.
Do you? Okay.
I can't even.
It makes me crazy.
I don't even describe it as politics. It's a life necessity to talk about these things. I mean, this is a way of life. And I agreed. This morning I woke up to an email. I used to go to a really, really expensive hair salon when I first moved out to LA. It was one of those like hair salon to the stars. You'll look beautiful. And I was very self-conscious and I spent way too much money on trying to look my best. And it didn't even make a difference. But that person emailed me this morning the person at the hair salon and was like, not to worry. I know this time is really tough for all of us who have roots showing. But I am putting together customized kits for each one of my clients that I will drop at your door and that you can apply to yourself. And we will have assistance on the phone at your beck and call for if you need clarification on what to do. $200. That's all. Just Venmo us $200. Are you on fucking crack?
And you can do your own hair for $200.
Literally, it's a box kit that's at the store for $7. Like,
hit up Steph Sabra. I bet you she'll do it for like $20. She'll guide you through it. She has great colored hair.
I just couldn't even believe it. I couldn't believe $200 for them to give you. And then I'm like, so why are they charging us so much in the first place? Whatever. The whole
televangelists saying that, like, even though you don't have jobs, do not stop tithing. This is not a moment to stop paying the Lord. Jesus is your savior, not your job. Like, oh my God, Rox. Today got me going.
I'm with you. What do you think about this, Drew? Because I keep going back and forth on this, and I'm curious your opinion. I keep hearing people say it's okay to not make the greatest novel of all time during this period. It's okay not to write the feature of all features. Whatever your thing is, it's okay to not be productive because we're all going through it. And then I hear people on the other side saying, get off your ass, do something every day, make sure you have a routine. You have the time that you didn't previously have, write that novel, do the movie. Where do you lie between those things?
It's funny because you see both of them like every day, right?
Yeah.
The first one you said, and the second one I saw the other day was like, if you don't do blank, it's like, if you don't do something great in this moment, it was never time, it was discipline. And I was like,
yes, I saw that.
Fuck, man. Like, fuck you.
Like, I'm pissed because are they right? But also I'm pissed because they're not fucking right.
Exactly. I know it sounds crazy, but I think you're 100% right. I think it's right in the middle. I think it is important to find like routine and things that make you sane, so you're not just like wallowing in depression, because like that's what I thought it was going to be for me for a little bit. Like the first few weeks I was like, holy shit, by the end of this I'm going to be so depressed. I'm going to be so much like heavier than I want to be, and like I hope that my relationship is okay. Like that's literally how I felt. I think that finding some routine is good, and I think finding some productivity is good. But like trying to hold yourself to a standard of doing something excellent in a moment of like a global pandemic where you're maybe just trying to make ends meet, or maybe you're just trying to like stay sane. I think it's like not fair. I think it's super not fair to put that much pressure on you. If you're inclined to do something, then do it. Like, you know, we see our friends learning ukulele and guitar, and I can hear people in my complex learning piano and like singing and stuff. And like, hey, more power to you. But don't sit there and hate on yourself because like you're not doing something that's great right now, you know?
I mean, I typically am in the Yoda school of do or do not, there is no try. But during this time, I gotta say, every day I wake up and tell myself, just really try today. Just try as hard as you can. Because like some days I feel like I'm really kicking ass and I'm like, all right, I got up, I did my booty workout and I got my crunches going and I laid outside for 30 minutes and got my vitamins in and I cooked myself a clean ass meal and I did work all day and I posted that post on social media. You've got this. And some days I'm like, okay, you're going to try it. And I get up and I'm like, so nobody can see my bottom half, so I'm just not going to put on pants because I'm not fucking doing that today. And I'm going to watch 6 hours of TV in a row because Too Hot to Handle dropped on Netflix, and I don't give a fuck about anything else but that. And so it's just
I'm going to house this pint of ice cream because why not?
Last night.
That was me last night.
Last night, I did the thing where I bought Ben and Jerry's frozen yogurt instead of ice cream, which literally has the same amount of calories, just tastes a little worse. And it does. It has like 15 less calories and like added sugars in areas. It's the biggest crock of shit I've ever seen. But mentally, I was like, I'm eating frozen yogurt, and I housed the entire thing, the whole thing, because why not?
Yesterday was a special day for you and myself.
Yes, and, it was. The day of ice cream eating.
It was the day of ice cream eating at 10 p.m. Because Baskin Robbins is an essential business, apparently. So
no way.
Yeah, it is.
Do they deliver?
The whole it's just right down the street on Main Street. So like Baskin Robbins
takeout
in Santa Monica is open till 10:30 p.m. every day. First
No
of all,
way.
that's like a crime to those poor people working there. But second of all, I am
Wow.
definitely a patron.
Yeah.
So I walk in there at like 10:15 last night. You can tell the people were not having it. I picked out 3 pints of ice cream. I ate half of 2 of them, so a whole one. And the third one is just sitting by. Pistachio. I just bought it because my mom likes pistachio.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's not going to be sitting by for long. It will
No,
get eaten. And here's
it
the
will.
other thing about what you said about the poor people working there. Yes and no, because it's like, I feel awful for them that they have to go into work and risk and put themselves on the line. I also
Mhm.
feel awful for the people who aren't allowed to go into work and aren't making any money right now and can't pay their bills. I feel awful for
Yeah,
everybody. I really do.
I did too.
And it
Except for
sucks.
honestly, like I don't feel super awful for, I don't want to say us because like this is honestly the longest you and I've talked since the quarantine has
I
happened.
know.
Like, because you and I run into each other usually a couple times a week and we get to catch up.
I know.
But I definitely feel for us in this space, I do feel really blessed. I like, I try to remind myself every day because I'm such a little brat and I get so in
Me
my own
too.
head and I'm like, oh my God, I'm making money and getting to communicate like with people every day, like at in the luxury and the comfort of my own home, apartment, bedroom, whatever you want to say. So like of all the people, I really don't feel bad for like us internet creators because right now it's obviously it's super oversaturated, but we have
Yeah.
such a luxury of being able to be like, hey, hundreds of people that like I care about and care about me. Like, how the hell are you doing? Because I'm struggling today.
That's a really good point. And like, if you think about if this was happening 10 years ago, we wouldn't have, I mean, what would we have? I literally would have to move back to Boston because I wouldn't even
Yeah.
have like, I don't even know what I would have done.
Wow. You know, I didn't even think about that. Like, I didn't think, I mean, I definitely thought about the idea that you know, I have money saved up from Clash and like, obviously like our stuff on the internet is doing enough to kind of help us. But
You guys
like,
are crushing. Your Patreon is freaking amazing too.
but I've worked in restaurants forever, you know,
Yeah.
like 7 years until I finally didn't have to do it in LA. And like, I'm in the total same boat. I didn't even think about that. If this was a year ago and this happened, I would have just moved back to Oregon also.
Because you don't have it. You wouldn't have a choice.
I wouldn't have a choice. I can't
Yeah.
afford to pay in that, you know, the stimulus check conversation is like something Ben and I kind of touched on, but, you know, obviously I'm very grateful to have woken up and seen $1,200 in my
Where
account.
the fuck is mine?
You still haven't gotten yours.
Where the fuck is mine? Where the fuck is
do you
mine?
do direct deposit?
Yes.
Like for your taxes?
Yes, and I paid them because
Yeah, you
everybody.
paid them.
I wrote a post and then I deleted it because everybody was like, "You didn't pay your taxes." I fucking paid my taxes. It is true I have not paid my 2019 taxes yet
Yeah,
because
same.
we got the extension. But I paid believe me, I paid my 2018 taxes. I was really upset about doing it. Lost a lot of money on that one, but I paid them, and I still haven't gotten my check. And right now, my accountants. So this is the most obnoxious sentence I've ever said, Drew, but I'm going to say it anyway. My accountant, who is an absolute doll, who I adore, father has COVID right now and is in and one of the elderly homes. So it's just not a great situation. But I cannot reach out to her during this. I cannot like ask about it during this time. But I literally don't know what to do and like could really, really fucking use that check. And I don't understand where it is. And people are saying sometimes it takes weeks to get. Why?
Yeah, I don't understand that either. I mean, because I don't really know a whole lot about it. I know basically there's like a few stipulations that like if X, then you cannot. But I'm pretty sure you fall within the bounds of all the ones that I've read.
For sure, I read them all, and I'm definitely not making enough money that I don't get one of these. I'm not a student. There was like
and
certain
you did
things.
direct deposit, so
Yeah,
like
everything.
I can't. I mean, maybe you're one of those really lucky people that's going to get that check with Trump's name on it. You're just waiting for the physical one in the mail.
Maybe. Well, then I won't even cash it. I'll obviously just put it on my wall and
hang it up
every day. Thank you for being here.
My point was that like $1,200 is great, but like for California, for us, for instance, like I guarantee you that does not cover your rent. I guarantee it.
Of course not. And it
No
was
way.
this was my favorite thing that I saw somebody post being like, "Do you want to know how they got to that number of $1,200? Do you know the answer to this, Drew?"
No.
They took the minimum wage
of
the lowest part of the country, the minimum wage, and they multiplied it by 40 hours a week for a month. And the people who are saying this isn't enough to survive, so next time the minimum wage is on your ballot, remember that you could not fucking survive off of the minimum wage because the minimum wage is not a living wage anymore.
No.
It is not, it's not, you cannot live off of that. $1,200 a month. You cannot live off of it. You
No.
can't, especially not in this city. But
yeah, what if you have kids, like what? Yeah.
Or
just
any
crazy.
hardships or any dependents. So anyway, we've gone on for a while and I have so many questions coming in the Patreon, Super Chat, Streamlabs for you. Also, I know today we want to talk a little bit about Chadwick Boseman because there have been rumors, things. This is no confirmation, but stuff going on with Black Panther. Dude's looking a little skinny, so we'll be talking about that. But before we get into any of that, Larry Lease in the super chat, he's always our first super chat of the day. We appreciate you, Larry. He says, hit that like button, rock stars. Roxy, how crazy did you get on 420? Well, do hit that like button. I appreciate you pimping me out. And 420, you guys saw how crazy I got here. That was pretty much the start and end of it. I will say that I am not the same youngin that I used to be. Things hit me a little harder these days. And... Woof. I'm just not as cool as I used to be. Larry also said, I don't miss paying the $2,000 rent in California. Yeah, that's just like
understandable.
It's just what it is.
I mean,
you can find cheaper rent, but also not to pull this card, but I live by myself as a woman, and there are just so many and not as a woman. Sorry, that's not a good way of putting it. As a small person, it's just like a not that strong human being. Do I sleep with the biggest knife next to my bed? As if the biggest knife,
like as if you're gonna shank someone that comes in.
As if I'm gonna be able to do anything with that. Like it makes me feel safer. And every single night, I check the knife and I check my grip on it, and I see how quickly I could grab it.
This makes me so happy that you like every night you go to bed like a spy that's in like enemy territory.
But this is the question. I mean, need your thoughts on this. Do I go for a chuck? Or do I go for a get close enough to like a
no, you don't chuck it. No, you don't want to do that. Because as someone that has tried to throw knives a lot in their life, because like that's what boys do when they're young is like throw knives at stuff. At least that's what I did. It's not easy. It's very difficult. You got to keep it. You got to commit, Rox. You got to hold on tight and commit.
I feel like
also, I wonder if maybe just run.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Where?
I know.
But this is the thing. You scream right now, nobody's coming outside. Nobody's coming out. Everybody's staying 6 feet away. I feel like if somebody saw something happening, they'd be like, I'm sorry, social distancing.
My neighbor has a pug that screams like a human. Like it sounds like a human's being murdered when it sees other dogs. And we were walking by it the other day and it screamed at Snickers. It's literally like a like it makes that face and it's and it's like, but it's 10 times louder than that. We went out,
Snickers.
pug screamed, and we came back, and our roommate was like, oh my God, did you hear that woman screaming? Do you think everything's okay? And then, so this whole thing makes so much sense, because obviously she didn't do anything. She didn't go check on it.
She heard it and was like,
she just heard it, was like, fuck, that sounds bad.
And
then just like went on living her life.
Drew, I can't say in with honesty that right now, if I heard somebody screaming outside, that my first move would be run outside. I would like to think I would like to think I would look out my window. I would like to think I would call 911, but I don't know that I'm dashing out there.
Yeah. I don't think so either. And also this made me laugh because he said like, how crazy did you get on 420? Someone asked me that question yesterday. My girlfriend asked me like, what's your craziest 420 story? Do you have one? Because mine are always just like, we got really stoned and went to a Chinese buffet and one of us threw up. And that was like always the story.
Green and I talked about this yesterday because somebody kept asking about crazy. There is no chill. The word is chill. How chill do you get on 4?
Exactly.
I don't really, there's only one time I got really crazy on weed ever. Not 420. There's just one time that ever crazy story. And I had taken edibles, which I'm not good with. And I went to 21 Choices in college and I had no business being there. And 21 Choices is a frozen yogurt place that has all of the toppings on the counter.
Okay. I was like, this must be an ice cream or something.
Yeah.
Sounds like that.
And I got on top of the counter, laid down into all the toppings and started poo-bearing them into my mouth. Pooh
No
bearing them
way.
into.
Like real life.
I swear to God, my roommate was trying to yank me off, but she was dying laughing so hard. They kicked me out, obviously. Obviously. I mean, I'm sure it cost them so much money. I couldn't even, it didn't feel like reality, Drew. I mean, I was
Oh
so,
my
so
gosh.
gone. I got right on, laid down, and just started. And they were like, oh, ma'am,
I don't know how they would have responded either.
no idea. It's like they thought that I was pranking them, but I wasn't. I just didn't know where I was, like that gone. So
Yeah,
that
and
was
then the
my
other thing for me is
craziest.
like I don't remember a lot of them. Like
Very,
they're
very valid
they're
point.
pretty uneventful.
Valid point. Will
Oh,
Watson says we have Schmodown, Angel, and Devil on today. He's definitely calling you the Angel for
yeah, at this
sure.
point, things have changed.
Yeah. Billy Belford. Roxy, click on that link. What link?
The link.
Maybe just in general, like as a lesson in life, click on the link.
Just click the link. Don't
That's
do
how you
that.
get all of the
That's how
bad
you get
things.
your Instagram hacked.
Oh my God. Jesus. Let's go over to the Patreon, patreon.com/Roxy Stryer. Questions coming in for Drew far as you guys call him, Meowthana.
Meowthana. Yep.
Meowthana. He doesn't like that I adopted it. I don't think he's a big
Oh,
fan of
yeah.
that.
We don't think he likes it either, but
No.
we love it.
The last thing he wrote to me was, "It's okay." When I said just it's okay. He says, "Hello, Andrew. Longtime fan here. I've been on a rom-com binge of late, and my question is, what is your favorite rom-com and what drove you to the genre?"
Man,
You are a rom-com dude.
I am. I can tell you what drove me to the genre, and that was Clueless, the movie, specifically Clueless, because my sister Leslie left for college. Actually, no, it was actually she like went to go live with her dad, I think, in high school, and it was something she left behind when she left, essentially. And so I was like, oh, this is my sister's movie, and so I watched Clueless, and then when I would talk to her, I'd tell her that I watched it, and so she'd start quoting it to me, and I'd quote it back.
Mm-hmm.
And we always would do the same quote, which is the very beginning. It's about like the dry cleaner, it's the house cleaner. And she's like, okay, I called them. So like my sister and I just say that to each other for 20 years now. But it was Clueless. I fell in love with Cher, or not Cher, Dion in that movie, whose name is escaping me at the moment. Why can't it? Stacey
Dash?
Yeah, yeah. And I know that now she's kind of gone a little crazy, but at the time, good Lord, I was so in love with her. So then
Definitely
flash
did
forward.
a Michael Jackson thing with her looks in terms of I don't know what happened, but she lit her
Yeah.
tonnage is not the exact same. How do I phrase that so I don't get kicked off the internet forever? Mm-hmm. Yep. She looks different.
She
Looks a
looks
little
different.
different.
I was like, let me take this one. Oh wait, ooh, I don't know. I don't I don't know what to say. Yeah,
She's
let's
still
just
stunning and was stunning then. I
yeah.
think she's the Fox News correspondent now, though. Life is
Yeah, no,
weird.
everything about her is like not that awesome now, in my opinion, but I fell in love with her. And then now I think my favorite rom-com probably just is Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I
It's such a
love
good
that
one.
movie.
It
I
is
can
such a
watch
good one.
100 times.
Wow, maybe that's a good quarantine movie for me to watch. I have not seen a single movie in quarantine so far.
What?
I don't know. I don't know what's happened. I'm more of a TV person, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just haven't in the
I
6 weeks
watched
or
a
however long.
ton in the beginning, and then I haven't watched any in a couple weeks. I like, other than what we have to watch for our shows, I've been kind of burnt out. I watch like mindless television a lot.
I need to get back into it. Still going in here. Oh my God, so many questions for you, Drew. Douglas Emmett says, "Hey Andrew, massive fan of everything action industries, particularly your new show, The Greatest Movie Ever Made." I love
Hey,
that they're doing that. I know one of your favorite films is Warrior, and I've never seen it. Can you please sell me on why I should watch Warrior, and what is the most challenging aspect of being a heel for you in the Schmodown? Douglas sneaking in that second question.
Doug. Yeah, that was great. That was a great
So
question.
Warrior, we're both obsessed with this movie.
Yeah.
So Andrew, what's the sell?
God, after this long, it's so hard for me to sell it like without just go into it and love the characters. That's it. That's all I'll say. Just go into the movie, don't expect anything, and just completely buy into the story and fall in love with the characters. And I think if you do that, you will completely adore the movie. And you got to love them for all their faults and all their finer points. But that, for me, like every time I think back about Warrior, everyone in that movie, that like even down to the principal we talk about,
Yeah.
they do so much for me. Everything, Jennifer Morrison, Frank Grillo, they're all so incredible, and Nolte gives the best performance of his entire career. in my opinion.
Jennifer in there is so good. She's like the dream. She is
She's a,
so good.
yeah,
It's amazing.
she's the wife
And
that you
about
want.
the heel part, the most challenging aspect of being a heel. I don't know.
I mean,
You
you
do it pretty
probably know
well.
too,
Uh,
right?
I mean, I think that really the answer is balancing your relationships inside and outside of Schmodown.
100%. That's it.
As an actor, I don't think you have a hard time at all putting that on. I mean, it's like a second part of you, and you're able to do it seamlessly. But then when you get off stage, there's a lot of sensitive,
Yeah, overly
and that's
sensitive
I
people
don't
involved in the Schmodown.
yeah, I don't even
I'm happy to say it.
Isn't it funny that the two things that have tripped me up today, how to describe Stacey Dash and whether or not I can
And
call
what
people
to say about our Schmodown friends.
sensitive. But sensitive is a good thing. I mean, in a good way. That's what my parents always told me. It's okay to be sensitive.
Okay, it's okay.
It's fine. It's fine. You're a sensitive kid. Yeah, that's challenging.
Yeah.
Alias in here says, "Is it hard being that good?" Genuine question.
You know it. Because you're so good at being a manager and you're so good at being character. And you just said it, like, as an actor, it feels so nice to have an outlet to where, like, there's really no right or wrong as long as you're being true to what you believe your character is. So, like, at least for me, I think it's really easy. But what you said, yes, that is by far and away the hardest part of it, is dealing with the relationships.
Sucks. That part
It really
actually
does.
sucks. Yeah.
I almost quit numerous times when I first started because, like, I would leave the studios and I would feel horrible when I won.
Well, what's really challenging too, Drew, is like a lot of people in the league are massive producers. And
Yes,
we actually can't fuck up our relationships with them. Like
100%.
they're actually big people in
Like,
Hollywood.
Ethan Irwin is the president of Silver Pictures. Like, am I going to go out there and just destroy him verbally for no? Like, no. Like, that doesn't serve me in my life.
No, thank you.
But Ethan also, I think, gets it.
Yeah, he does totally. It's just with some people, like you just don't want to.
You just don't want to do that.
Yeah. Donnie A says, "What's more fun, being dastardly or debonair?" Is that how you say that word? I never know.
Yeah, I think so. Debonair. At this point, I think it's debonair. Dastardly, like, was really fun for a really long time. But now I get to kind of do the same thing with a smile on my face, so it feels a little bit more fun instead of being so angry all the time.
You're the cutest smile, Drew.
Thanks, Rox.
You're welcome. In the super chat, Ben Rayner says, "Hey, Roxy and Drew, did you guys see HBO Max coming 27 with the entire catalog? I'm assuming the Friends and TBBT." So, I am so out of the loop with these things that I can't even understand this question. TBBT.
Did you guys see HBO Max coming 27? So maybe
HBO Max is coming on April 27th.
Maybe, and then like
the Friends part, I know that they're not launching with Friends, the reunion, because they weren't able to shoot. They're supposed to shoot the end of March. And
is the Big Bang Theory.
The Big Bang Theory. Oh, so I think really right now what HBO Max is focusing on is taking over a lot of the DC properties. They've been talking about doing taking the DC universe platform stuff, Green Lantern being there. Justice League Dark going to HBO Max. Obviously, that's not immediately, but I think they're working on that. And then you think about all the Warner Brothers properties that they have access to. I wouldn't be shocked that somewhere down the line they're going to be doing some Harry Pottery something. But I don't know their catalog. It's not the Shining thing too. I think that they announced, but it's not, to me right now, of the places that you can pay for things. The HBO Max catalog is not really gripping me. How are you feeling, Drew?
I feel the exact same way. Like, I look at all the things that they have lined up to air, and it's just not gripping. I'm not super excited about it. That these are not shows that I'm dying to see. And again, like, I'm a little burnt out on just watching things in general right now. So hearing of a new platform, like, it's interesting because Quibi just got released, so it feels like now with the quarantine going on, it would be a great time. But for me, I've almost avoided it. I've gone out of my way to avoid it because there's so much content to absorb. I'm just like, I don't even know if I can take in Quibi right now.
Drew, I feel the same way, which is so weird. By the way, Ben Rayner said he meant May 27th. So sorry about that. But I feel the same way, which is so weird because Quibi, I think to myself, 8-minute things, I could do that. That's so fun. That's exactly what I want. But this is literally what's happened 15 times to me. It is free for 3 months. it is a free trial for 3 months to get Quibi. But
Hmm.
every time I've gone to download the app, I've been like, I'll do this later. Every single time. I just
Yeah.
can't bring myself to like type in my information even. There's something about it that I'm like, do I want to do another? I don't know. So I will get there because you guys have been asking my Quibi opinions. I just haven't. I haven't downloaded it.
Is there any show that like on Quibi that you're actually excited to watch? Like, I know
I
there's
thought
like a few of them that are like popular, but
you and
yeah,
I
is there?
both went out for like multiple different Quibi things. And
Yeah,
every person I know went out for like 15 different Quibi things. I'm stoked for my friend Maud, who has a show over there. So definitely supporting her and Black Nerd. They do the show together. I've seen Chrissy Teigen post things. I like
yeah,
her.
like the
I don't even
Judge
really know
thing
what
or
she
whatever.
does.
Uh
Yeah,
huh.
it's something like that. So maybe I would check that out. And then I think no, I don't even know what's on there.
There was a horror story one that I think I'd read about.
Oh, Horror
That was
House, right? Horror House,
maybe.
Flip Horror House, Flip
Yeah,
House.
maybe that. I thought that sounded kind of interesting, like being able to tell a horror, like part of a horror story in 8 minutes. But again, I'm the same way. Got the free trial, haven't downloaded it. Keep telling myself I'm going to, and I'm pretty sure I won't. Especially now because, like, yes, all those jobs we went out for it. Now I know all the people that got them over me, so like I should just go watch them
I know, I
and
know.
just yeah,
Well, it's like the best way to learn, but also it's hard to not be like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Glenn Caesar says, "Hey Drew, if you had to choose one from each of the following options for breakfast or dinner, what are you picking? Waffles, pancakes, or French toast?" Okay,
French
that's
toast, 100%.
okay.
Uh
Mine's
huh.
pancakes.
Okay.
Bacon, sausage, or ham?
Oh God, I think I have to go bacon.
I go bacon too. Yes, true.
Okay. Yes. Nice. Nice.
Apple juice, orange juice, or coffee?
Oh, I think I have to go coffee. If I had to pick one of the three, well, I know we're not going to line up on that one.
Well, yeah, but I also do not like apple juice or orange juice. I'm
Really?
taking tea.
Okay.
Live outside the box. Make your own answers. Garth
Thanks, Glenn.
McMurray says, "I once beat you at a movie trivia in an
Oh
Action
God, I hate
Industries
you.
video. Okay, it was only 3 questions and I got one wrong. And you've beaten Dan Murrell. So does that mean that I could beat Dan Murrell in movie trivia?"
Yeah, it means you could beat Dan Murrell and you could beat Ben Bateman. So you could be the double champion because, yeah,
Whoa.
if A is B and B is C, then A is C.
I hear this a lot from people that anybody on any day, but Drew, I have never won one.
Yeah,
So there's that.
yeah.
Like
I
not one time have I ever caught like not close. I mean, there's never I don't think I've ever gotten more than 5 points in any match
like a
ever.
whole match.
A whole match. A whole match.
That's okay. You found your place. I would honestly like if I could be as big of a star without having to compete like you are, I would so do it because I love managing. Like when I got to manage, it was so fun. You're
It is
so
fun.
invested. You know, like and then like at the end of the day, it still sucks to lose, but it doesn't feel I'm assuming it doesn't feel the same way. I don't know because I've only managed once and
I
he
don't know
won.
because you see me, I want to
I know you're
die. Like,
devastated. I
I'm
yeah,
devastated. But that's the thing, Drew. I will never in the Schmodown, I will never be as big of a star as you because I don't compete. So I don't deserve to be as big of a star. And I'm okay with that. But I would 10 out of 10 times rather be in your position. And even if win or lose doesn't matter, but people aren't coming to watch me compete. I think
right.
that people who are fans of mine will come because they want to see what I'm up to, but it's not the same kind of dedication and it shouldn't be because they're different positions. But there was the whole like poster debacle. I don't know if you heard anything about this. Okay. After
Remind me.
being part of the Schmodown for 6 years now, or whenever it started, literally, I was there from
Yeah.
the first season. So I've been part of this forever. And asking questions on a desk when we were filming at the AfterBuzz Studios.
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked Christian, I wrote him like a heartfelt email because I was like, I want my face on the posters. Like I'm still flying to these events. I'm putting so many hours in. We get paid significantly less, which is all fair and
Mm-hmm.
all should be the case because it's completely different things that we're putting in. But I'm still showing up and I want to be able to promote the event to people. And when I'm tweeting it out and stuff and my face isn't there, it's not, I don't think I have the same way of selling it. And he was like, completely hear you. I'll make a separate poster for you so that you guys can promote. And I put it out, and the fans like shit on me. Christian told the people, which he was totally justified in doing, that I had talked to him, that he was making this decision, and the fans like lit me on fucking fire.
For what? For being on a
dare
poster?
you? How dare you think that this is about you? You've accused Tom of wanting to be the center of attention, and now you want to be the center of attention. But like, I just wanted, so just going back to what you said, the struggle is different, and I understand that losing and having you be the person who lost is a completely different, but I definitely deal with my fair share of BS in it also, and I have to understand the fact that I will never ever be the draw because I'm not competing. So
yeah, I just think that obviously those are just idiots and trolls, but like they need to look at the big picture, right? Like, who has 5 times more followers or 6 times or 10 times more followers than I do on Twitter? You do, right? And like, even if I'm the bigger star that's maybe headlining the event, it's not a bad thing to have a poster with you on it so that your fans know you're a part of the show.
Right.
Like,
I never said, everybody's like, why would you want yourself on the poster instead of the players? I was like, I would
why
never
not put
want that.
everyone that's at the event on the poster,
Right,
so that their people will know that they're there, so that we can have more people watching the show. It's just, people are
I was
so
like, I'll be a
fucking
little
stupid,
person
man.
in the corner. I'll be tiny in the corner. I just want it to be clear that this is an event that I'm performing in. So anyway, that was my airing of grievances for a quick second. But going back to all the things going on in here, Glenn Caesar says, from Adam Schefter, trade pending physical. Patriots are trading Rob Gronkowski and a 7th round pick to the Buccaneers for a 4th round pick. Source tells ESPN.
That's kind of so. What's amazing about this is that Tom Brady, it was either today or yesterday, got asked to go home by a state like park worker in Tampa because he was working out in a park by himself that was torn down. So basically, I think what Glenn's trying to say here is that, like, holy shit, are we going to get Gronk and Brady back together?
Well, yeah, I'm looking right
Tampa
now. Gronk expected to play with Brady on Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I have like chills because it's so stupid, but it's so sick. Like, if that were to actually happen.
No, you're being really mean to me right now, Drew.
No, I'm being serious.
No,
Why?
you're being mean to me and my
Patriots
love and
you're
heart.
Patriots, but don't you still like love Brady and Gronk?
I do. I love Brady and I love Gronk, but like, are you watching Gronk? I know your favorite place in the world is TikTok. And Gronk on TikTok right now is like, he's calling himself LeBron. He's playing basketball. He's being like a total goober, like he always is. I just feel like
in a lovable way. Still,
yeah, always. Everything he does is lovable.
Yeah,
and like,
he is a big goof.
I could have watched him for 50 hours on 420 as I was like dying laughing. And yeah, seeing them together, but seeing them both together and not in Patriots jerseys. I mean, it's just, it feels icky. And not icky. What Brady's doing, he has to do. And I am in complete support of him making this decision. But I don't know. Something about teaming them together and seeing them both there. Ugh. No?
Yeah, I guess that's fair. That's totally fair. I hope that Brady does the thing where he goes back and like signs a contract for like $50,000 or whatever with the Patriots and retires as a Patriot. Like, I really honestly,
I don't think so though.
I know. When you say it's like, you understand what he has to do. I just wish he would have retired as a Patriot and only played for the Patriots.
Me
but
too. If he doesn't go to the Super Bowl, I think in multiple years he's going to wish that he did the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
Not that he has many regrets. He's Tom frickin' Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah, he absolutely is. All right, going over to Streamlabs, guys. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Ton of stuff coming in here. Tomad just was showing support. We appreciate you. Glenn Caesar says, hey, Roxy. Hey, Drew. Happy Tuesday. 2 awesome people for 1 awesome show. Nice. Air guitar to you, Roxy. Salute to you, Drew. Love you both. The hashtag Rockstars Band and hashtag Action Army. Rock and rule. Rock and rule. Is that, am I rock and your rule?
I mean, I hope so. That's our new thing.
We're rock and rule, baby. Drew, if you could pick, what would be your superpower or special ability?
Ooh, special power or super ability or special ability? I think, God, this is always so tough. Like, is it like one power? It's not a superhero, right? It's just like one
it's the power.
Only.
Yeah, because a lot of them got like 15. Lucky bastards.
I know. So I've always said that if I could have the same power that Magneto has, because he can control metal and fly, I'd do
Yeah,
that.
but
But
that's a load
that's
of
cheating,
crap.
right? Yeah. So I think I would just I think I would either fly or be able to go invisible. I think I'd fly. Going invisible
Ooh.
just sounds lame. I think I'd
Mm,
fly.
One of those evil people do. The other one
Right?
is, yeah, like if
Yeah, because I
you're
was like,
going
why would I go
invisible, what do you
invisible?
need
Like
to
that's
use
just
that
dude.
for?
Yeah, that's not cool. It's not cool. I think I want to fly.
Yeah, flying's pretty dope. I think about this all the time. All the time. It really says something about who you are based on what you choose. And just I will quickly plug that Christian Harloff is coming on the show tomorrow. And when he was asked this question on Collider Live, and I never let him live this down,
What'd
when
he
he was
say?
asked which superpower he would have, he said the power of persuasion,
Oh my god,
to
he's a
be able to
true
persuade
supervillain.
anybody to do anything. And I stopped him dead. I literally stopped the show, Drew, dead in its tracks and was like, we can't fucking move on from this. That's your power. And he was so upset with me, did not understand where I was coming from. He was like,
That
why
is a
is that wrong?
legitimate
I was like,
superpower of villains.
yeah, I was like, come on. He was like, yeah, but I wouldn't use it for evil. And I'm like, that's what all the evil people say.
Hey man. Yeah,
Yeah,
no. But
that's a tough one to pick.
well, the
Tough.
other one that I
Power
was
of
gonna pick would be
persuasion.
breathing underwater, but then I realized that I'd just be able to breathe underwater and then get fucked up by something in the ocean.
Yeah,
Because
you
the
would
ocean's
need like
already
super
horrifying.
strength down
Yeah,
there
you'd
or
need
something.
so much stuff going on down there.
I feel bad for people who ever get to pick their actual powers if this ever happened, and then they pick something like that, and then they forget, and then they're down there, and it's
You
like
just get
you're
rocked.
wiped out in 2
Yep.
seconds. PLD in the house. He
Wait, did you pick
says
one? Did you pick one? Or was it just for me?
it just said Drew.
Okay, all right, my
They
bad,
only
my bad.
wanted Drew.
Right, fair.
Mine is teleportation. I always think teleportation
Ooh.
because I don't have enough hours in a day, and I gotta get places quicker. And also, I miss my family back home, and you could travel the world
And flying still takes time.
cheaply.
Like, who knows if when I say flying, he's like, cool, here's your power, and I can fly like 3 miles an hour.
Yeah, but the feeling of flying, teleportation probably doesn't feel cool. Flying
Right.
feels cool. Mine is
Okay.
more about like I'm just being practical, like logistically. I'm like, all right, gotta move, rocks.
Mine's like aesthetically, it's like fun.
And like also, come on, when you can fly other people. I can't teleport other people. I
Mm.
mean, you can. That's some journey shit.
I like that you've set these rules because they couldn't hold on to you.
Well, I don't know. Actually, it's a good point.
Just rips their hand off. All right.
Maybe. PLD says, so when does Roxy start stealing whatever Drew was going to say, like the old days on AMA? Love you guys. Well, we both like bacon.
I
So
know. I was gonna say maybe for that game because it made me think of that, but
yeah, me
then
too.
the last
Me too.
question
What was I
didn't help us.
watching? I was watching one of our old things the other day about that. The whatever, all the theses were exactly the same. One brain.
Always.
Billy Belford says, hey, Drew, so I've been running log bait and
Mhm.
I subbed in Skelly Barrel for Goblin Gang. Thoughts? What the fuck did that just say? Also, Paul sucks. So glad to finally have Drew live at the Roxy. Whatever happened to that romance angle in Schmodown? I don't actually know what happened to that.
Yeah, there's a couple storylines that have just like died off. I think I'm trying to think of why that one died because that was actually a good one, and that was one that Christian actually
Yeah,
liked, and the
it was
fans liked it.
awesome. I think it had to do with who was really what happened was after the draft, we were so focused on
Mm,
all those new storylines because that's when it stopped. But also,
yeah.
can you please talk to me about what the fuck I subbed in Skelly
Oh,
Barrel for Goblin Gang?
so Billy, he's talking about Clash Royale here,
Oh my god!
and I love it.
I thought it
Billy,
was Schmodown related. I was like, what the
you're like,
fuck?
what is happening?
Who is Skelly Barrel?
I think it's a good. You definitely got more offensive capabilities on the board, Billy, but you're gonna be suffering when someone's got a heavy tank on the ground. You don't have a lot of options. You need more ground units. That's what
Ooh,
I gotta say.
you should try teleportation.
You should. I think that would work.
Roxy trying to contribute to the conversation. Tim Koscuba says, sup, Roxy and Drew. Roxy, I know you love Chris Cornell like me. Very true. The Soundgarden song Live to Rise came on at work today, and I forgot how much I loved it. What's your favorite Audio Slave and Soundgarden song? And Drew, what kind of music are you into? Salute. Drew, are you an Audio Slave or a Soundgarden fan?
Yeah. I mean, I listened to both of them when I was, in high school, of course, and like was continue like when their songs come on now, I still know a lot of the words.
Yeah, so people ask me all the time because I love Chris Cornell. I love him so much, and um, I think that I'm upset that I started loving him so much after he died and never got to see him. That's like, I can't
Yeah,
even. When I look into like what happened in his life, I just get really, really fucking sad. I think he's such a beautiful talent and soul and person. But I think that I go back and forth between which band I like better. I Am the Highway is the
yeah.
song that I belt the loudest in my car. I feel like anytime I have gone through a breakup or rejection from work or whatever, I fucking like rip that song to shreds. So that's definitely a big one for me. For Soundgarden, I don't know. I go back and forth. I do this with the Chili Peppers too, my favorite band. I'm
Oh
always
yeah.
changing. I'm always changing songs. I'm always changing what I like best. But Drew, what's your music game? What you got?
It's my music is so crazy. It's all over the board. It goes anywhere from like pop to top 40 to like indie rock to classical. Like it's if you look at my playlists, they're all over the board. But I do have to say that like a Stone and I Am the Highway by
Yeah.
Audioslave are two songs that whenever I hear, I will always, like you said, just belt. Like I
But
will scream them out.
they're so good. The other thing I will say, Chris Cornell was that I listen to nonstop, and I think it's one of the best covers I've ever heard in my life. Is he covered "Nothing Compares to You," Prince's song? If you haven't heard him cover it, I
Hmm.
weep to this. It's so good, and he covered it after Prince had died, and then oh
I have to watch it.
oh,
It's his,
just
isn't it
like
Prince's, is today his anniversary?
I
4 year
think
anniversary, I
the,
think.
of his death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. Oh, and Prince he organically came up on the show.
Our boy.
Um, and was it Chris Cornell that did he cover it after he died, or was it for something else? Because if it was 4 years ago, wow, it must have been so soon after. Yeah, he must have covered it right then, and then Chris Cornell
Compares to
was
you.
died a year later. Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
it makes my skin crawl to think about these amazing talents that have gone. So
Yeah.
I'll just
I'm saving this so I
oh, you
can
have
listen to
to.
it later.
You guys
Yeah.
all. But so that I can feel okay moving on, I'm just gonna go back to the
Mhm.
super chat. Glenn Caesar says, sure, Roxy, you could absolutely teleport other people by holding their hand like Nightcrawler of the X-Men.
That's what I was thinking.
I feel like a lot of people have teleportation issues. Like, don't you see usually people puking or like
Or like half of them doesn't make it. Something
I
like
mean,
that.
I would feel so bad, Drew, if I tried to teleport somebody
You
and
killed them.
half of them didn't make it. Philip Gustafson,
Philip
yeah,
Gustafson.
Gustafson, thank you for the help. Fact
Gustafson.
of life: when there's energy, there's no time, and when there's time, there's no energy.
Mm,
That kind of speaks about what we were talking about before.
yeah.
I like that quote. D Train in here says the Patriots are about to trade Gronk to the Buccaneers, reuniting him with Brady. Cody Hall must be ecstatic, and I'm definitely rooting against the Patriots. Thank you, D Train. Thanks for that
Roxy's
one.
favorite donation of the day.
Appreciate you. He then says, my question is about Warrior. I don't know if I want to read your question, but that's not how it works. I read all the super chats. What do you think happens after it ends? So speaking about
Mm.
Warrior, I'd like to think the two. Well, I don't want to say what you like to think because I know people in here haven't watched it, so I don't want to give things
Mm.
away. But if you can vaguely, Drew, talk about what you think happens after it ends.
I, I I
Good,
think what I'll
bad.
say, I think it's good for one half of the story and bad for the other.
I
And
think so too.
honestly, Steph actually asked the same question on the Action Guys
Oh,
on
no
Sunday.
way.
Yeah, because she just watched it. So we actually answered that. And I think you were on that episode or you watched the episode D Train. Sorry to do the plug rocks, but if you want to know, just go watch that so we don't spoil the movie for people that haven't seen it.
I can't believe you said sorry to do the plug. Yeah, I want you to plug everything, and definitely, that's one of the things. Drew, actually, right now, why don't you say all of the things that you guys are working on, that you're working on, you guys are working on, etc.
Yeah, so just go check out youtube.com/action industries. We did the Action Guys with Steph Sabra, one of the World Girls, on Sunday. And
Yeah,
she watched. We talked about the World Girls, and we showed you your opening animation because it's still one of my favorite things I've ever seen.
pretty dope.
It's so cool.
I heard that she chose the rock stars over.
She did.
It's fine, whatever.
Whatever.
It's fine
No
that
big deal.
she likes us best. It's fine. I would
But
have
we
been
do that.
so sad.
I know. Well, it
If
was
she chose the army over the rock stars, I would have cried.
it was crazy because she was on an island by herself, right? And she still did it to everyone in the army and to us on the show. So she really, really meant it. But we held on to the fact that most of the people in the army are probably rock stars as well. We hope so.
I think most of the people who are rock stars are in the army also. And Drew, who do you have coming up?
Yeah. So, youtube.com/action industries. We're going to do Con Air, the greatest movie ever made, this coming Saturday. And I think on Sunday, we're going to try to bring on the Real Rejects for the Action Guys, our 2-hour long show. But yeah,
awesome.
just go check us out.
I love them. That will be really fun.
Are hilarious. And yeah, I love those guys.
Mayra M, there is a way to track where your stimulus check is. You have to go to the IRS website. Oh my God, going to that website stresses me out. Yeah. I try to look for the link and put it in the chat. Thank you.
Nice. Thanks, Myra.
I will need to do that because, like, give me the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Tim Koskuba says, hang on, didn't y'all make out in a Schmodown cutscene?
Whoa.
Can y'all talk about that angle? How was that pitched? Was it weird? Did it go where you wanted it to go? Did we make out in a cutscene?
Definitely did not make out.
Wow, is that no? Yeah, totally. I remember that. It was I can't believe that got leaked. How did you guys know? That's crazy that Christian had us film that and then cut it.
Look,
why would he do that to us?
Yeah, I think he's probably talking about the scene where we were like behind the door. And he, like leaned in for the hug. We loved filming that scene.
We
thought it was
awesome.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
I feel like you and I came up with a decent amount of the ideas of how to make that a little bit more juicy from the original shot.
Definitely that. And also, I would be so mad if we made out and he cut the scene.
Oh, like, no, there's no way.
Because then we just made out.
We just made out just to do it on camera for no one.
I would be so fucking pissed at him.
Just like, yeah, it just didn't make the edit. Not enough tongue.
Like if you're getting hit with a chair and then he's like, actually, we're gonna just cut that from the.
Did you know that in Houston he was like, after we warmed up a little bit?
Oh yes, I know. I remember like, the other way. I remember.
He was like, maybe we just don't do this because you're already getting hurt. I was like, dude, my lips already cut. Like we can't cut the bit now. Let's just do it.
Don't I remember it? D-Train says, Brady out, Gronk out. Hopefully Belichick is next. Oh my God. We're one step closer to the Patriots to not be relevant again. Sorry, Roxy, coming from a Giants fan. Like, you guys are mean. So it's just like, you guys are a bunch of mean bully machines.
But like, imagine being a Giants fan for the last like 15 years.
I don't feel bad for them at all. Patriots rock. And
they picked the wrong team.
Yeah, that's on you. You were born in the wrong place or you picked the wrong team. That's your guys' problem. And also Belichick is next. Oh my God. Don't even write that. It's just rude. Sugar Gum says, Drew, your eyebrows are beautiful, my guy. Since you guys are actors, a biopic of a person you resemble is looking for the star. Who do you play? For Roxy, I think you could play Cher in the Moonstruck era if they made a Cher biopic. It's literally the nicest thing anybody ever said. Amazing. It's probably because you haven't heard me sing. Drew, who are you playing?
I mean, at this point, it sucks because he's like literally only a little bit older than me. But it's Oscar Isaac. Like he's the guy that I probably look the most like, that has a career that I admire so much. And like, God, I every time I see him in a new role, I'm just like, no, me. Like I saw his
dirty good. He's so good.
He's so good. And like that's the other thing.
So
is like,
good,
I can't hate him for it because I love watching that man perform.
I know. I don't know. I always think the other way around. Like I always thought that Elle or Dakota could play a good Roxy Fanning, but who I could play. I mean, my dream, I would love to be Drew Barrymore. And she has kind of a weird life story. And growing up, everybody said that I kind of reminded them of Drew Barrymore. I which is something that I take as a huge compliment and have held on to, because I think like that goofy, silly, and like weird side way of talking sometimes that she does. Also,
I
yeah,
think
I
she's
just
like
like her.
super cute and quirky too. It's so weird. I would
Yeah.
have never ever thought that, but now that you say it, I like see it so well.
Yeah, she's a little we're both kind of unconventional, but she's a little more unconventional, I guess. But I don't know. I would love a Drew Barrymore biopic. I mean, she's a child actress who that her life is
Yeah,
crazy. That shit's crazy. So,
yeah.
Roxy, you could play Elaine from Seinfeld. I don't think so. I
Huh,
don't know.
Julia?
That would be
Maybe
amazing
like
too.
comic timing wise, but I feel like your guys' look, I don't know. Maybe not.
Drew Dixon Sider says Dev Patel.
Dixon Cider. Great.
Dixon.
Dev Patel.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I did one the other week that was a really bad one, and I was very upset about it. Someone's name got me. Dev Patel, I can see that too, but isn't he like my age, which is even worse?
I don't know. He is great though. But you know, like in 13, Rachel Evan Wood, who it's she was playing like, well, I'm fucking up this story. It's the two girls.
Oh my
It's
God,
the girl from Westwood, Evan Rachel Wood, and the other girl, Nikki Reed. And the one whose life it was about played the other one.
oh yeah,
You
I
know what
guess
I'm talking about? Like
yeah,
it,
yeah.
it could be you could be playing his age. It just could be not
Just
him.
yeah, because
Wow, that was
he's
the
2 years.
worst broadcasting skills I've ever used. So there's a story. The girl,
Just
the
two
one,
girls, and then the one
one
plays the other
cup.
one.
I know that we have to get out of here soon, but I did briefly
Hmm.
want to talk a little bit about this Chadwick Boseman situation. So for
Holy
anybody who
shit.
doesn't know, video circulated where he was talking and he just looked skinny as hell. Skinny. Then I think it was We Got This Covered, who I nothing against them. You know, they're just somebody, they're a site that I find reports half the time are true and half the time are really not. You have to take it with a grain of salt, but they talked about the fact that they think that he's getting recast and that he will not be in Black Panther 2. Instead, Shuri will be the star of the movie. And then there's another character that they're going to bring in. I'm sorry because I'm not as familiar with Marvel as I am with DC, but there's another character that they're going to bring in who's not typically Black, but they are going to cast a Black actor to play this character. These were all rumor mill stuff that I heard going around. Drew, what do you think? Do you think it's possible that he is getting recast as Black Panther? Do you think that these are all just crazy rumors? How would you feel if he was recast?
God, I can't imagine him getting recast. I really can't. It feels too early, and it feels like I mean, it was nominated for Best Picture, right? The moment was massive for him. He is our Black Panther. I can't imagine them recasting, but when you look at those pictures, I don't know. We've seen people do
it was weird.
Yeah, it's like he looks unhealthy. He looks like, I said to you, I was like, he reminds me of 50 Cent when he lost like 55 pounds to play that football player with cancer.
I didn't even know that. You showed me that. I mean, I looked at the picture. Holy crap.
And like Bale's done it time and time again, but like that's not really, at least I didn't think that was Boseman's MO. I love Shuri and I love the idea of a movie about her. I want that so much, or even a series about her, maybe on Disney, but like her starring in the Black Panther movie feels incorrect, because then it feels like, maybe like, is she starring in this movie because something else went wrong? Like that's
well, it
what I
doesn't
think.
feel like it would have to be one or the other, right? Like it feels like you could do a her movie,
You should do both.
yeah.
Because like I think she was my favorite part of Black Panther, honestly.
Me too, and it does seem like really setting her up to fail if you call a movie Black Panther 2 and
it's her story.
Yeah, especially because she's so well liked. I mean, I literally don't know anybody who didn't like her role in the movie. I think that she just kicked butt and is a lot of people's favorite. But I don't know. When I saw this, I was like, the first thing I thought when I saw the headline was like, this is a load of bullshit. There's actually 0% chance. He's amazing. Why would they recast him? He's a fan favorite. The character is a fan favorite. All things worked about this movie. Why would Hollywood's not that dumb? But then I started looking into it, and a lot of people were saying it was because of a pay dispute.
Mm-hmm.
And things like that happen all of the time. And especially after this pandemic, where we know that Disney, not that they're going to be hurting, but we know they're taking a hit. They've taken the hit with Mulan. They took the hit with Black Widow. They've taken a few hits. Maybe that changes things. Maybe they're not in the situation that they were in prior. But you would think that they would give him what he wanted because he's Black fucking Panther.
Yeah, I mean, I'm when you say all that stuff, you start to think maybe a bit of the Robert Downey syndrome is kind of coming towards him. But like Robert Downey did so much for the MCU as Iron Man, like he was the beginning of it. So you can't just not have Iron Man anymore. So when he starts to make those insane claims, it was like what $250 million a movie or whatever the hell it ended up being at the end of his contract. But like, I do think Black Panther is incredibly important, but I also think that if he makes it, God, I don't know. I was gonna say if he makes it too difficult and they have to recast him, would they just not make a second one? But that feels also impossible. But then it also seems crazy for them to not have enough money to just be like, fine, we have to pay him even though this sucks.
They're saying, so this is what we got this covered. Again, everything with a grain of salt, but just looking at rumors today, because it's kind of interesting to do in quarantine. They said that there's numerous reports that the studio is lining up Shuri to be the next Black Panther. So she would take on, that would mean she would take on the mantle. So it would be called Black Panther because she would be Black Panther.
Because that is the whole point of Black Panther, right? Is that like, it's the character, it's not the person in the suit.
Right. And we've seen it before, Spider-Man with Into the Spider-Verse when they have Miles Morales take on the mantle of Spider-Man. Namor apparently is the person to so this says Namor to replace Black Panther as their premier Black hero, with Atlantis being made up of sub-Saharans, sorry, I'm bad with the Marvel terms, who integrated with the original Atlanteans, lending more weight to Killmonger's famous epitaph. Good English, Roxy, reading so well.
Yeah, I don't really know what that means either because I'm not as well versed in comics as person I do my show with, but
I know Namor, but I don't know why they are saying Namor instead of Black Panther. The characters are so different. I've correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but Namor is like their Aquaman, right? Namor is like their.
That sounds right.
Going in, Glenn Caesar says Shuri could be Black Panther, but that doesn't mean Boseman needs to be recast. He should become the King of the Dead, like in the comics. Yeah, I mean, we've only had one Black Panther movie.
Right? Like, it should just be another Black Panther movie. Like, that's what it feels like is the only correct thing to do is, like, if there was Iron Man 1, there's Iron Man 2. And maybe it's not as good as the first one, but, like, it's still pretty good. And, I think that just has to happen.
The funniest comment of the entire day award goes to my man, Fernando Scarjo. Hey, I'm sure she threw her name in the ring. She's willing.
She would crush it.
You know who should be Black Panther? Scarlet.
Oh,
it's too good.
It's a suit.
We are getting out of here. Oh my God. I just did yesterday. Everybody was making fun of me because that's my stoner laugh. I don't know why it sounds like that, but it does. We are getting out of here. I want to get in any of these last minute Streamlabs. D-Train says, for Seinfeld, I think Ellis could play Jerry, Roxy as Elaine, Roca as George, and Jeremy Johns as Kramer. Wow, Drew, you got screwed in that one.
Did.
Yeah.
I did.
I don't know if I agree with any of Ellis as Jerry. Fine. I don't know about me as Elaine. I don't think Roca as George and Jeremy Johns as Kramer. God, what happened?
I feel like casting someone as George in the show now would be so wonderful. I just need to figure out who it is. Maybe Thad or something.
I feel like we should get Lon in there somewhere.
Yes. Lon's new character is my favorite thing I've ever seen in the show.
He is amazing. He is absolutely amazing. Drew, as we get out of here, where are all the places again? Where can everybody keep up with you? Where can they go support you? Literally everything that you're doing. Tell us everything. Open the window to your soul. Let us peek in.
Follow me on Twitter. Right down below at Andrew Ghai. Make sure to check out patreon.com/team action and of course youtube.com/action industries. That's where I am. That's where I am all the time. So go find me there.
Drew, I heard that Jake Yakoveta, who makes my amazing overlays, told me that there was an Instagram Twitter debacle where you don't even, so you're just over Instagram?
I just don't like it. I've tried for so many years, and I deleted it like 2 years ago, and I made a new one. Like I just don't. I don't know why. I don't know why.
I think that it's not. It's I get it. I think it's not really fun. Like,
Yeah, like I don't find it fun anymore.
yeah, I know.
I
It's
like
it's
Twitter.
very hard to be in your to be in anybody's position, but like people want to see your face, but you're not the kind of guy who wants to take a picture of his face every day and just
It's so
post that
twisted.
on. I
Yeah,
know. I know. I
it's so
know.
weird. I'm trying to do an unboxing video right now. I was doing some of it before, and I'm going to try to finish it afterwards. So we'll see how that
What'd you
turns out.
get?
The Gentleman.
Oh, I have that here. It's over there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna unbox that too, but I didn't see it. You guys saw it and loved it, right? Or you
I
haven't
haven't
seen
seen
it
it.
either?
No, so
Oh,
I've heard
Ben
mixed
loved it.
reviews.
Oh,
Ben did not like it, but I heard from
oh,
everyone other than him that
who
they
told me it
loved
was
it.
great? Yeah.
Coyd loved it. I think Bibiani loved it. I think there was a couple other people that
Yo,
said they
Bibbs
loved it.
has weird taste.
He does. He really does.
I don't know that I can
Um,
trust it.
but I've like only done one unboxing video before, and it was for like electronic stuff that was sent to me by Supercell. So I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna see how it goes. I don't know. I've got an
Can
idea,
I?
but we'll see if it works.
But here's my thing, Drew, for
What?
you. I feel like maybe you've already fucked it up because, like, how did you already start it and then you're stopping and going back?
Oh,
Like
because
you,
I have like a setup,
but
like
you
to
know
go
you
in
have
to
to
get the
do it
box.
like all in one, right?
Yeah. But I'm
Okay.
going like to go pick up the box, like because the box is like outside my door, so it hasn't been
Okay.
opened yet. Like that
Okay,
whole
but
thing.
you didn't like start doing it and like start taking things out and then pause it
No.
and
I did all the taking out in one take.
okay.
It's just like grabbing the box and moving it from outside the door to inside, and then like Snickers is involved, and then once I open it, that's when it's all
Oh my
one video.
God, Drew, you're such a YouTuber.
It's not gonna work. I think it'll probably end up not working out. I'll just use the middle clip, but we'll find out.
Me and you moved out here to be actors doing these unboxing videos.
For you at home
Oh,
during a quarantine.
oh yeah, quarantine. Drew, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. Everybody at home, round of applause for Andrew Ghai.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How awkward is it to sit there while I clap at you? You guys rock. Don't forget tomorrow. Christian Harloff is coming on. I'm so nervous.
Really?
Yes.
We've never had Christian on one of our shows either.
I've never had him on, and all of a sudden I was like, I think I'm getting to the point where like just he's got a lot going on, and like he's the person that I just got really nervous about it.
Just
And
open the show up with talking to him about why he wants the power of persuasion as his superpower and how
I
that
think
is
he'd
only for
actually
villains.
no, he would actually get upset with me. I don't know. I'm very nervous. So submit your questions so that you can ease my nerves. I'm excited to talk to him though, and we'll see how that one goes. My acting coach, Sean Whalen, is coming on Thursday. Don't forget, Thursday's time has moved. I'm shooting a gig in the morning, so we are doing Thursday at 3:30 Pacific time. Just giving you guys a heads up. And I love you guys a lot, and I'll see you tomorrow live at the Roxy, 1 p.m. with Christian Harloff. Woohoo! Thanks, Drew.
Bye, guys.